You know, Event Horizon is the one movie that I had to watch twice to make it through the whole thing.
Yeah, it definitely invokes that thought when you're watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Kickstarter game.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted to
You
bring
could tell.
it's the stealth.
You mean you can tell by the fact that it seems like the protagonist is like
No.
4'8", and then
No, the trailer is just the way it's cut together is very rough. And
Mhm.
I don't imagine an actual game studio making something that unpolished.
Oh man, low blow.
Oh.
So you're
Yeah,
saying
no, the audio levels were all over the place.
Yeah.
I had to manually ride the volume knob just to keep from blowing my ears out.
Yeah. Well,
And
true.
there was one scene or one bit where the narrator is talking and you just can't hear it over the music.
yeah.
And
Okay,
why?
so you
can't-
know it was
how
a
about some quality control? Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I can tell.
Okay. I see.
if we can do sound better than they can.
Yeah.
Well, no. So I mean, I knew. Okay, I thought you were saying you could tell it was a Kickstarter over just a indie game.
No, just it's indie. Is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay. I was like,
Unless this is like a Square Enix Kickstarter project,
No.
which I don't think that's the case.
no, not at all. I just like when you said you knew it was a Kickstarter because of the poor quality. I was like, oh man.
Just to clarify,
Yeah. You knew it was indie.
indie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The quality control on the trailer, not so good.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Say what you will about the game, but when I see a trailer like that, that gives me an impression of the people behind the game.
And you're worried there.
That gives me pause.
Yeah, I can see that, but I see that they do seem like they are hitting, like we just talked about Action Verge, but this is more nostalgia, like the sci-fi thriller type games where you're like sneaking by and stuff. I mean, not so much has to be sci-fi, but like the survive rather than just blow everything up type of thing.
It looks like blow everything up. It opened though, and it immediately made me think Event Horizon. Like I was
Yeah.
prepared to stop the trailer if I got too scared.
No, this game's definitely going to be stealth based.
So you think with
No, like
stealth
they've
based,
said it.
okay.
Yeah.
So in order to do stealth in damn near every game right now, if it's a 3D game, you got to crouch. So do you think that for the gameplay segments they showed there, the character was crouched? I don't know if you noticed, but it seems like our protagonist here stands chest high on everyone. Unless it's voiced by Peter Dinklage, and then
Yeah.
oh wow, brilliant.
I'm not sure, but I know that this is a stealth game. Like one of the big perks is like you can shoot somebody or you can like shoot a light out and then like you can create your own darkness because like based on how dark it is if they can see you or not. So you can create your own darkness like by shooting out lights and things like that.
I hope they give you night vision goggles because based on how dark it is whether or not you can see them as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that,
heard.
that adds to the scary. That adds to the scary part. But we both, me and you, talked about how like we don't like the stealth part of action games. But
I think that's you saying that.
okay, so you like the stealth part of action games.
I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of stealth parts of action games that have really given me a bunch of trouble, and not really.
Well, I don't like them.
I've seen why. I just think it's
no.
yeah.
I mean, even if I get through on the first try, it's still like it's like, why did I have to do that? I don't understand. But no, like when a game's built to have stealth, I'm more okay with it. I tend to not, but this has sci-fi, which is just like it's very hard for me not to play sci-fi games, like of any variety. I don't know.
Did you like XCOM?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, me too. It was really hard. Not even related. I just wanted.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd be like, what?
No.
Seeing as Duke Nukem was 2D.
No, I played XCOM in like 2003, 2002, 2003, like the old ones.
They made a new one. It was pretty great too.
No, I played it and it was awesome. Like it's super awesome actually.
I didn't finish it though. The learning curve was way too much.
Yeah, when you realize that you haven't been leveling up as fast as the AI and you're like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm behind. Yeah. No, the thing with the trailers, and I tried to find a trailer where something scary because they say it's sci-fi horror, but I have not seen I tried to find video of the horror part and I haven't found one yet. So I don't know if like, and this game's coming out in about, comes out April 30th.
Well, how do you even define the horror genre in video games? Because from what I've seen, horror is basically defined as you have no offensive ability, and that's pretty much it.
So there was a game,
And
Fear.
some jump scares.
There's a game called Fear.
Right.
The first one, I don't think. Actually, you know what? I played it 5 years after it came out. It had dated graphics, and it pulled off horror not through removing offensive or defensive capabilities, sometimes through jump scares, but it managed to create an environment that really filled you with a sense of actual dread as you played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I can't really. There's jump scares otherwise. Doom 3. Doom 3 got kind of scary.
I'm losing it where you're a miner. Dead Space. Dead Space did chilling effects without having jump scares. Like, for example, they had a music, they had a system in it where based on how many, you didn't have to see the bad guys, but based on how many bad guys were around you, they upped the music. So like you didn't even know that you were in trouble, except that they changed the background music and it conditioned you to become scared. And you didn't even know you were being conditioned to become scared. Like,
And the term for that is expositional score, right? That's what that is?
Sure.
Telling you this is a bad guy, you should be scared.
but you could walk by it and never see it because they could be in the other room. Like you could be getting there later. It was a way of adding effect without, like, I don't know, like you can do things without jump scares. Dead Space is the
There was
first
something like that in Clock Tower, if you ever played that.
I remember Clock Tower.
And that was done to good effect. But generally, as far as expositional scores, I like to think of it as a laugh track.
Well, no, these were
Essentially,
you'd have
it's the same thing. It's like, this is where you laugh.
Yeah, I
This
get
is
that,
funny.
but it wasn't. It was subtle. Like it was like a change in like you didn't know it was occurring until someone told you, and then you would listen and you're like, oh, I'm being conditioned to become fearful. That was how they did it. Like you didn't know that the music was changing, and then when you like read about it and then you went through again, you're like, oh yeah, there is a change, and I am now mentally conditioned to be afraid of it.
Oh, so it got it to subtle effect where you feel scared while you're playing, but it's not that you've consciously noticed that the score has changed for you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very subtle, but it was very compelling. So no, you don't have to do jump scares. Well, and also obviously that's the first Dead Space because when EA got their hand, I think it was EA, whoever was the mother company for it, got their hands more and more into it. They said make it more actiony, so it left its path of greatness. Of course, it wouldn't be made. A second one would have been made if it wasn't for that mother company because it did so bad because came out during the recession and was specifically called out as how we know that video games are dying because of recession because it was so good and people weren't buying it type of thing. But no, I like also that I don't know what the story is for this game with the preview and I've looked up stuff. So like you have an idea that you're trying to save. And she keeps saying it wasn't me, but that usually means it was her. Or no, I want to play this game and like find out the story and be scared half the time. Hopefully that works out.
I mean, the story looks like HAL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
AI gone bad.
except now this AI has a virus instead of just being bad.
Wouldn't it be awesome if at some point someone snuck an Event Horizon game on you? Like it was actually Event Horizon and you didn't know until like you've gotten too far in and then you're like horrified. Like, yeah, this is Event Horizon. You're like, oh no, what have I got myself into? Want to do it for you?
Yeah. I couldn't even make words to respond to that.
Yeah, I guess not.
We try again.
I've thought it would be interesting if a movie did that where a game was sold and it was actually the prequel to a movie, but they didn't say it. And then the movie came out, and then people were like, "Oh."
I don't think we're there yet culturally. No,
I think
perhaps to a web series that could work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think even though half of adults do play games, I don't think they're as mainstream as I think they are. How about that?
Yeah.
So everyone's playing games, but by half of adults playing games, we mean Tetris on
Candy
your phone.
Crush.
What percent of adults do you say watch 300 or Gladiator and play video games? Or more like 300 or Sin City or Marvel video games or like the Marvel movies and play video games. I think that's a higher percentage.
I suppose you're right, but I think that, well, if you're going to use Marvel as an example, the audience that they're selling to right now, they're saying, hey, everyone who thought comic books were just for nerds, I bet you'd actually like the stories if you checked them out.
That's true.
And they're aiming $1 billion global box office. They're not looking at comic book fans and action fans. They're looking at broad audiences. So yeah, I bet they play video games, but I bet you 20% of the audience, that number is so meaningless. I bet a sizable chunk of the audience of the Marvel franchise right now, while they play games, they are playing Candy Crush and FIFA and Madden. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not jamming out Ultimate Adventures.
Yeah, they're
or
all
whatever.
Candy Crush players. That could be true. I don't know. I would say the closest it makes me feel for is like Dead Space or Alien. If I was going to make a cultural reference, like where you're just scared and running around, but you know,
And this is where you're saying that would be a great game prequel to a movie.
like where you could find like, yeah, like
So there are very few film licensed games or game licensed films that really
yeah, you
don't
could.
suck.
Yeah, the Chronicles of Riddick is the only one I can really think of.
And did that game fit within the storyline?
It's like it takes place after the first movie, I think. No, before the first movie, maybe. I can't remember. It's been forever since I played that game. But like the Batmans that are out right now are not based on the movie. They came out the same time as the movie did, and then like the reason people bought the game sometimes might have been because they wanted to be like Batman in the movie, but they're not the Batman from the movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and they aren't even remotely close.
No, like the Joker is your, you know.
And I think that's because they're catering to two different audiences.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, like the Chronicles of Riddick is the only video game I think I've seen that's based on a movie that's like 9 out of 10 stars or something like that.
On that note, Lego, apparently those are very good. I have not.
The Lego games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, I think that they're actually really bad mechanics wise. I haven't played one in a while, but when they first came out, they were the worst. Like the platforming was terrible. Like the platform was smaller than the what you were seeing, and like the sticks were loose and everything. It was like very, like there was a fun side to it. Like, oh look, but like the actual mechanic gameplay was terrible. Like unplayable for me, and I play a lot of bad games.
I mean, I think they are going to make one that's based in a high school soon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, they do have that. It's Harry Potter.
There you go. Lego Harry Potter might
Yeah.
do it for you.
Oh man, I feel like at some point you have to watch something, and then
Napoleon Dynamite is up there. I wouldn't say among my favorite movies, but I really enjoyed Napoleon Dynamite.
yeah,
And that was a high school movie.
I don't know. Like we should just sit down and watch Berserk, and then you can tell me how that was made for kids.
I played the Dreamcast game Berserk. That's a guy with a really big sword.
Yeah,
How was that high school?
that's what I'm saying. Like
What I mean by that is, what would the point be of including a high school in that scenario other than to attract
yeah, but
fetishists?
you said anime is more for kids in general, or like mangas for kids, and it's just not the case.
No, I don't think like manga, the books. No, I don't think that those aren't necessarily children's material. I think I'll tell you, and it's the thing that turns me off about a lot of animes is that their art style seems appealing to a child's eye. Like it's meant for a kid to sit in front of it and not get bored, and it does not appeal to me
There
whatsoever.
is something to that. So anime draws their characters with big eyes, and American cartoons draw their cartoon characters with small eyes, and adults.
You might say normal-ish size.
Normal size.
Ish.
And adults see the big eyes. And American adults see the big eyes as for kids, and then on the flip side, if you show American cartoons in Japan, they think that the people look super creepy, and it weirds them out. Like they're like, oh, I can't. No, like those eyes are just too dead.
I mean, I'm thinking about The Simpsons, and they got big eyes.
Yeah. But in Japan, are the non-Japanese style of animation, let's say, is what do you call that? The creepy in between.
Oh,
The Uncanny Valley.
Yeah. So for them, that's like Uncanny Valley.
right, exactly.
That's weird.
When I think about the animes that I've seen and really enjoyed, like Ninja Scroll, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, they really didn't have outlandishly large eyes.
If you watch it,
Perfect Blue also.
if you watch it, they are enlarged a little bit.
Sure.
And the
Well,
reason,
all cartoons.
Yeah,
have
I
a
was gonna
little
say
bit.
as with American cartoons, outside of like I think Adventure Time, they have little beady eyes, right? They don't
Yeah.
have googly eyes, but
Yeah.
yeah, they
I won't like, yeah, I have some things, but like we've talked about this so much that I think I'm going to do my next editorial on anime and like cultural differences and stuff. So
Exciting.
I'm gonna try.
He says
I'm gonna try.
sarcastically.
I have a little brother who lives in Japan, and I will try. I will try and somehow get feedback from him for prep,
Yeah.
just so that I can hear your cultural perspective from Japan
Yeah.
and contrast it to an American expat living in Japan. I wonder how well your point of view of Japanese culture syncs up with his. Like a
Well,
dude in Virginia compared to a
I
dude in
don't
Tokyo.
know.
Yeah, you have to go to Tokyo.
I want to go to Tokyo.
We're gonna do that one of these days.
Yeah. And just see me run around like a little kid. Like,
Yeah.
Or be like, this is just a big city.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gone to Japan. Well, okay,
I
I've
want to
gone
go to
Okinawa.
Akaba like really bad. But
Sure.
the,
I don't know. It seemed to me like city and country.
Yeah.
It was I'm concerned that you'll be disappointed. Like, yeah, you'll be able to buy panties from a vending machine, but other than that, it's like a bunch of people living in a place, and some of them are farmers, and some of
Yeah.
them are police officers.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
Um.
some of them like rock and roll.
So back.
I
on
do think that this Solarix looks way better than No Man's Sky. Bottom line.
Oh, you mean aesthetically?
No, I
Graphically?
mean that the
Or-
gameplay footage
Oh, what
shown
you wanna
looks
play?
like someone playing a game. Nah, not even that I want to play. I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely better than No Man's Sky.
Yeah. No, I can see some of that. I would be interested to see if the weapons will have any other use. Like if, like how many different type of weapons do you need to shoot someone in the back? Because every time we saw something was a one-shot kill type thing.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in like what if like because you saw the guy equip suits and stuff like that. Like what's the actual like
Yeah.
if it's a stealth only game, like does the suit get more stealthy?
Well, hopefully it goes deeper than what you might just guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, there's a certain kind of enemy that's immune to electricity or
Yeah.
something.
No, that'd be cool.
Hopefully, no. That's a nice little mechanic to add,
Yeah.
but if that's the purpose of having different guns, I wouldn't be so much into that.
Oh, okay. No, I guess that gets into like when you feel like you're too much puzzle solving for stealth games. And
Or even not just that, but where you're like, oh, he's got blue armor, better get out my
Yeah.
lightning gun.
Yeah.
He's got red, I better use ice.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. No, I'll give this one a try. I do like the negative pitfalls I saw is like I didn't think about 2.0 is like the quality control and their trailer could be representative of some other issues. We saw a lot of the same thing when they didn't show us variety in the trailer, and that's actually the best
Yeah,
trailer
They
I
showed
found.
environment variety that almost
Right.
has me concerned because there was some planetary surface we saw in there, some
Mhm.
nighttime on the surface of a planet, and that brings up all sorts of issues because part of the terror for a space game, because one, it looked like you're on this derelict ship that knows it's being
Mhm.
overtaken by something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that gives this nice sense of dread and isolation. Get on the surface of a planet with green flowering plants, and maybe the life there is terrifying, but
Yeah.
whatever, you're not alone.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, it has some flags, but I'm like sci-fi is my thing. And actually, I'm not too worried. Like sci-fi horror video games, I can play. Like movies, not so much anymore, but the games I can play.
What would be an example of a sci-fi horror video game specifically?
Dead Space, Sphere,
Yeah.
Bioshock.
Did you ever get into the amnesia type games?
I
Slender Man?
it's not Amnesia. There's one that's when Amnesia came out. There was one just like it, and I played some Amnesia. And I played all of the other one. It wasn't too bad.
The one with the insane asylum, and you're like a journalist. Is that the one?
Oh, not the ones where you take pictures. I haven't played any of those yet. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Well, there's one where you have a camcorder.
Yeah, I haven't played any of those. So, but like Amnesia is like those, except you don't have a camcorder.
Right.
So, but no, I haven't. Like I can get into those. All right. I didn't play the Aliens one, which was apparently amazing. Like it was.
You're talking Alien Isolation, the
Yeah.
newest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it actually got like rave reviews.
That one seems weird to me from a game perspective, though, because it seems like a whole lot of maze running and escaping. But if there's only one alien, you can't kill it because
Yeah.
you win.
Yeah. So you have to constantly be running from it. And like, you know that the way you're going to beat
Yeah.
it is.
Well, that's the formula now. You just can't. You have some creature and you can't kill it, so avoid it. There's like the hide mechanic now.
Yeah. I would
Which
like,
goes back as far as Resident Evil, I suppose.
yeah. What I would like to see is one of the, like, now that horror is becoming a thing, someone make an actual hybrid between action and horror where, like, you know, like, yeah, you're running from this monster, but you can crush it in an elevator or something like that. Like, where you,
Oh, that's been done. Castle Crashers did that, actually. I don't know if you played Castle Crashers. Oh, my God. One of the better, I don't know if it was indie games, but it was Behemoth Studios. It was
it's like a fun party game.
yeah, downloadable 4-player beat 'em up.
oh, yeah, I played that.
Nice cartoony
Yeah,
graphics.
yeah. I
There's
played
another
that.
one too that's 8-bit style for the PS4. I forget what it's called. Anyway,
Yeah. So no appeal for you two.
No, I didn't
Okay.
say that at all. I mean, what are they going to charge for it? For one,
Oh, that's a good point.
yeah,
well, if you're a Kickstarter backer,
$20,
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, I probably would. My buy-in for this would probably be $30 unless it's like 10 out of 10 stars type thing.
I do think this might show part of the risk of Kickstarter programs in general for entertainment products, both from the creator side and the consumer side. Because I wonder if the early on contributors are looking at this going, this is not what I paid for.
Right.
And it also puts a really bizarre pressure on a developer, unlike a corporate and deadline. It seems like a really well, hell, I guess in here though, all they have to do is tell their contributors, sorry, it's going to be another 6 months.
Yeah, as long as they like explain why. It seems like Kickstarters are pretty comfortable with delays.